I should have never gotten this far. Everything that happened to me screamed you are ugly and skinny, but I was stubborn enough to change all that and eventually make it. You see, some kids at school made fun of me because of my looks. I was very skinny and always looked pale. My lips were always dry and cracked.
Did I mention the big flat nose? Ideally, I did not match the Hollywood standard of cute. The photo of my school identification card looked very horrible. I looked like I was sick. When I look back at my prom photos and how I looked, I cry for that little boy. My esteem and confidence was so low, but I always seemed to get by. All I focused on was making myself better every day through reading self-help books. I used to read everything that promised me a better version of myself. That was during holidays. I was an average student. I wasn't the brightest, but I managed to get to university. I spent too much time in art school and never went out. Not because I loved school so much, but because I did not feel comfortable around people. I hated being the point of attention due to my extremely small size. So most of the times I kept indoors.
While at university, my mom bought me a camera.
But I had no idea it was going to kickstart the challenge life was about to throw my way. I was very excited. Finally, I had the camera to do my photography coursework, and I also thought I had finally found something to hide behind.
A friend of mine called Latif got me a part-time job in a photo studio while I was at university. I was super happy.
At first I thought photographing people was about just pressing a button, but trust me, I was wrong. I sucked at people photography. I wasn't even conversant about camera setting. I remember when I had just started, I would take hundreds of photos of customers and they would choose only 2. And this bothered me so much. I felt like a failure of sorts. This went on for so long, and somehow I was demoted to mostly editing. Of course, the few times the main photographer wasn't around, I was told to patch in the gap with the little skill I had. So over the next 2 years, I made great and extremely bad photography of people, but I was miserable. Health-wise, I was losing too much weight. I had a very bad appetite and I was so unhappy. Truth be told, I hated myself. Then life threw me a surprise party in 2007. I had a chance of being photographed by one of my mentors, Kibi Hassan, in the studio I worked in. This gentleman directed me on how to sit. He positioned my head. He told me on how to position my hands. He posed me to the last finger. He positioned the lights like he was shooting the next crown prince of this country.
I had never felt this important my entire life. I felt like a superstar of sorts. Man, this felt so good. This gentleman guided me every step of the way. So after the shoot was done, the photos were loaded onto the computer. And I saw the most handsome dude in the world. I had never seen myself look this great. This was the most handsome version of me. I got these photos, I printed one of them and I sent a copy to my mom just for her to see the fruit of her womb. My esteem went through the roof. I fell more in love with myself. To many, it may seem like a normal photo, but to me, a boy who struggled with self-esteem and seeing that handsome me, it was therapy. I felt like an achiever, and this is exactly what I wanted to do for other people that I showed to experience. Now I'm doing what I have never imagined myself doing over a decade ago. I'm helping other people who think they are not photogenic enough, the ones whose esteem is low, the achievers, the ones who want to be reminded of their greatness on seeing their self-image in a better light. I love helping people who are just like the way I was long time ago. Nobody is born confident and photogenic. Nobody is born knowing the secrets to feeling and looking great. And nobody is born feeling confident or having tons of self-belief. I mean, nobody. But the cool thing is that this can be learned. In fact, most of the times it's easier for people with self-doubt and insecurities because they don't have to unlearn anything. They just need to jump into action. Now, this is super important to me because I've seen how much life sucks when you cannot see the glory in your own self-image, yet deep down you know there is that hidden beautiful girl, that hidden handsome person within you. And I've also seen how amazing life can be when you do know how to use the right poses, the right angles to get yourself looking and feeling great. It is for this reason I've started a movement that will transform the way you see and feel about yourself. A movement that has transformed and touched thousands of lives in positive ways. A movement that is going to change your story from negative to positive. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you the Achievers, a movement of people that set the pace. Where others see them as show-offs, we see them as inspiration. Some see them as fakers, we see them as makers. They live to win no matter what. They are the light in this world of darkness. We call them the Achievers, and we're going to be sharing hundreds of their stories right here on this page. Follow and like for tons of inspiration. I'll see you in the next one, and adios.
And the winner for Fashion Photographer of the Year Uganda is Ntege.
Thank you so much. Just know if I've never taken your picture, then you've never taken pictures. Ntege is the best photographer in the country.